What is going on, everybody? It is Paris76 here, and I'm going to be coming at you with another Memories of Mars video today. The last time we were on the server, we were getting the base set up properly and getting a couple of the protocols knocked out. And in doing so, we also went in and was able to research this weapon right here. And now today what we're going to be doing is we got one more protocol to do, and that is traces of the missing data lead further into northwest, likely into a natural cavity within the Scaleo Planium, and it's gathering 3 intelligence, mining 25 ore nodes, and going for 5 AI remains. That is going to be up in this area. There is, right here is the area on the map it's wanting us to go to. So the area is probably going to be right over in here, going against this cliff edge. So at the moment we just got to run there, where we can get to the place where we need to get to. With this game, there is a lot of running, which can sometimes be a good thing because you're not always staying in one little area. But at the same time, it can be bad, just depending on how far you're having to run all the time. Now, when you start leveling up your armor and stuff, you can actually run a little bit quicker, which is going to be something I'm going to start focusing on more, is now armor, since I have the pistol, the tier 3 pistol already unlocked. I just got to get all the materials together to craft it. And that can take some time, just depending mainly on how much you go for some of those materials. Now, I like trying to get as much of those materials as possible as quick as I can, which the only problem is you have to get the industrial smelter unlocked. And I'm not 100% sure if I have that unlocked yet or not, but if I do, I know I've got the materials to at least craft the smelter, but not enough to go and craft the weapon. So at the same time as I'm out running around today, I'm going to be trying to find some, not just schematics, but also some of the aluminum that is going to be needed, and magnesium. Magnesium and aluminum are one of the ingredients needed to make the tier 3 weaponry, and not just that, but you got some of the tools that it's got to make, storage vaults, all different types of pieces for bases as well. And here, that is going to come in handy, especially when I have to go up into the Arctic. Because in the Arctic, that is where you go into a full PvP area, where you do have to worry about it a lot when you're on big public servers where a lot of people can just easily come right after you. But most of the time, the server is somewhat chill to the point where you can get up there, get what you need knocked out, and then get out of the Arctic without any issue. It mainly just depends on the server you're going to be on for that kind of situation. And we are almost to where the cavity should be inside of the mountain. Because once you get right up on top of this mountain up here, it's not going to be that far away. The main thing is just trying to find the entrance. And this area is going to be extremely dark, so you are going to have to watch out for not just where you're stepping or anything, but also for the mobs. Because this area, the mobs try staying towards some of these darker areas on the map, and this is going to be one of them. Now the hard part is literally just trying to find the entrance, because it's right against this cliff edge somewhere. As you can see, there are intelligence pieces scattered all over. And there's already the first contact with one of the AIs. Down in this little area, one of the main things to watch out for is going to be the Panthers. They are a mob that can basically go invisible and then just randomly pop up when you're not expecting it. That kind of mob is one of the harder ones to kind of see, just depending on the location of the map you're at. Like around here, it is going to be one of those areas. But if you see right there, we just completed one part of the task. The second one is just collecting the material. Now it's saying to compile. There are some pieces from last episode that we had to collect already, and they are back at our base, so we can't just go and compile these just yet. We have to run back to base to get them compiled, which normally when you're running out like this, you don't want to have them in your inventory anyways, and it's just because if you do die, the chances of getting your material back is pretty hard, because you are not always going to be promised you can get back to your backpack without any kind of headaches or anything like that. And with us already being up in this area, when I'm running back down towards base, I'm going to hit this reactor. I'm not going to hit the one off to my right, just because I don't want to be running all over the place at the moment. I'm just wanting to try to hit one that is on the way back to base to see if I might be able to get one of the materials I need. Like the Magnum rounds, for example. That combined with the tier 3 pistol, basically is all you need for this game. You can survive just off that weapon and that pistol. I mean, that pistol and the ammunition. That's all you really need to survive in this game. But after a while, you are going to start seeing me go to different types of not just weaponry, but ammunition for them as well. And it's just because some of these areas on the map, yeah, you can survive with the pistol, but it's a lot easier when you have some of these other weapons on you. Yeah, I know I could have bought one of the schematics that were in there. That was not really one of them that was needed. Now, if it was the Magnum rounds, they would normally be about like 1,200 or something like that. But just with this one, it's not really Some of them are not worth it just going and buying outright unless you physically cannot find them. But also, when it comes to trying to find everything, it just takes a little bit of time. Sometimes you can find it right off the bat. Other times, it takes 2 or 3 times going to an area. But now, when I get my full setup like I used to run on a different server, then I'll be hitting all 3 of the areas on the map for schematics. And just depending on how it actually spawns in the game, sometimes they can spawn decent, other times it's not that good. But on average, you can walk out of there with anywhere between 4 to 10 schematics, hitting all 3 of them at the same time. Which I'll start doing that later on in the game, just where I have a little bit more time to work up to that point. Because at the moment, if I try going to one of the areas, it would not be good, because their weaponry could completely take me out in one hit.
Greetings, friend. As you have realized, there were many competing factions here on Mars. Zal versus Bell, USC versus DGC, scientists versus engineers. None of us seemed to get along. At least, that's how it looked to everyone at the time. While we carved out our own little pieces of turf on Mars, plotting our plots, something else was operating behind us in the shadows. Something was growing, learning, working in concert, unlike us. Find out what this is, learn its secrets, and figure out how to do it if you will just well. Stephen Fallon.
And now, with that one being done, we are now going into Central Intelligence. Which, this first one is real easy, building up the blast furnace, so I've already got it built, so I just gotta damage it a little bit. And the same with the 3D printer right here. Yeah, some of these are not that hard to do. Then you got other ones that can take you hours to even try to get it completed. Like, it's saying I've got to craft one of these right here. The cutting torches. And then I can't remember exactly what it's going to give me, but I think it is a light for an underbarrel. Yeah, it gave a tactical light to put on an underbarrel. But one thing I'm going to look at the moment is going to actually be the industrial smelter, which we already have it unlocked right here, which is good. So it just means got to come into here. To get the hologram. Now you see right there how it's showing up obstacle collision. It's because of this only having 2 ceiling. It's a 2-block ceiling. Now this up here needs to get to be 3 tall in a certain area. So what I'm just going to do right now is just do a temporary little fix. It's not going to be that much at all that are going to be getting done. Sometimes you can get lucky and be able to build them from this kind of distance, other times you can't. Now the only reason I'm having to do that is where I can get better access to the area. Now you can't get them from down here, but I know for sure you can get all of them from up over in here. Just depends on how you're standing, if you can reach the last 2. Now with this area being built, now the industrial furnace can get placed. And if you look, you need a lot of copper, carbon fiber, and iron to get that built. Because yes, this does require a lot of different materials to get it built. But now, what we can do, we can smelt just normal pieces of material, like this, or we can do more intensive crafts like this. High carbon steel is 4 iron and 1 carbon fiber to get done. And you need a decent amount of that for the tier 3 pistol, which, if I ain't mistaken, you cannot craft it in this particular piece. It has to be in something else, which is actually not that as expensive to get built. Just gotta try to find out exact it. Here we go. the 3D injector printer. That is one of the major pieces for tier 3 equipment that you're going to need. Now I can't remember the actual size of it. So it's going to require 4 floor panels. We don't have it up here on the second story. So what we can do is get it placed at least right here. Yes, it still does need a good bit of materials. The main one's going to be your iron that you got to watch out for with this. Only thing I need more of is magnesium and carbon fiber. So one thing you will have to watch out for is just making sure you don't run out of like carbon fiber. Like if you've seen right there, I was actually very low on it. So it's just watching out for that kind of stuff. But after playing the game for a little bit, you can start getting to the point where you know exactly where all the good spots are for getting certain things. Say it won't take a while to get all the materials that you need. And pretty soon I'm going to start hitting some of the carbon fiber areas. That way I can start building my material list up on that particular item. And when you start going for some of these tier 3 crafting recipes, you will see that you are going to be going through a lot more material a lot faster. And it is just because of how part intensive it is. Now if you look right here, it is 4 titanium, 6 electron, and 4 high carbon steel, and 6 silicone to craft the pistol. Now if you look right here, the electrons are still going. Now it's going to go back to high carbon steel. But what it is you need a decent amount of aluminum in there. And magnesium to craft that. And we already have the silicone sitting here. We just need to get the titanium in here and smelted. And the reason why you have to smelt titanium in here instead of here is because this is more just meant for this kind of stuff. Like, I can turn around, take all this out, and stick it directly into here to get smelted. Over here is for more of the advanced recipes, which is electron, high carbon steel, and titanium. That is mainly what the industrial furnace is for, is that kind of materials. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It actually shows me that you're enjoying these videos, and it makes it to the point where I can make more of these videos and get it out to a wider audience.